The convergence of AI, MI, IoT, big data, RPA, and bots enables organizations to make more informed decisions and respond more quickly to market trends and customer behaviors. The key drivers allow to gather up understanding and recognizing the patterns from collected data, thus empowering the NBFCs. The NBFCs are immersed in having the opportunity and adding the value in meeting the expectations of their customers. So with this short note, may I request Mr. Sundararajan KD, Vice President, Sales Quality Kiosk, who is going to moderate the next panel discussion on the topic AI, MI, IoT, Big Data, RPA and Bots, empowering NBFCs to evolve through revolutionary customer experience. And may I also request the panelist, Balaji TK, Chief Information Officer, Orange Retail Finance Limited, Mr. Gopinath S., AVP IT, Mathut Microfinance Limited, Mr. Ajit K. Menon, Vice President and Head of Operations, Vivriti Capital, Mr. Vijay Kumar Ramakrishna, CTO, Clicks Capital, Mr. Durga Prasad Swaminathan, Chief Information Officer, Cholamandalam Investment and Finance Company Limited, Mr. Nikhil Bandi, Chief Technology, Digital and Operation Officer, APSC Financial Services Private Limited. So all the panelists are here, and may I request our moderator, Mr. Sundararajan sir, to kindly take over, please.
Thank you, everyone. So maybe I was actually having a chat with some of the CEOs here down. I felt one thing extremely strange. You guys are a real silent performers. Some of the initiatives that I heard in the floor today, obviously, so much of banking and insurance we hear in the market, NBFCs are seriously silent performers. Some of the projects that I heard in the discussions with some of the CEOs here and CXOs here, I was seriously surprised that this much is happening in NBFC industry. Maybe if some of you can share your experience of what this last 2 years of COVID did to the technology transformation within the NBFC industry, right? Because I think banking we talk of UPI adoption, insurance we talk of digital insurance issuance, right? But what did for NBFC? How did this NBFC industry saw the last year on this COVID technology adoptions? Maybe Balaji, if you can share your thoughts, how did it go for you?
Hello, audible? Thank you. Thank you, Elets, for organizing this wonderful tech summit. Quite interesting to know various stakeholders here. I do represent Orange Retail Finance, non-banking finance company. We started operating in southern part of Tamil Nadu. We scaled up all over South India. So we do have almost 2,000 employees and a customer base of 170,000 customers. So if you ask me particularly in this past 2 years, how you guys scaled up? So we started operating from a double-bedroom apartment actually for 4 years back. So by de facto, like I never had a kind of a server room or nothing, so I need to go ahead with kind of whatever the agile technology available to go ahead with cloud from the day one. So from ground zero, I need to go ahead with it. And as you rightly know, like every NBFC is borrow money, so we're in the business like 18th century business. What is that? Borrow money from somebody and sell money to somebody. So we're in the same business. So because there are bigger NBFCs, bigger banks are there, so what is my USP? So my USP should be only from a kind of a turnaround time. How fast I can able to empower the customer, how fast I can able to disperse the money. So that was the product we started building it initially. So from a kind of a 3 days window, 4 days window, we tried to bring it down to kind of a less than 5 minutes window. So that's what we did it. And fortunately, we got 160,000 customers with this kind of a turnaround time. So what we did is with this learning from this, so we started integrating with various APIs, with various ecosystems, how fast I can able to build this engine. So we started empowering, I started giving my app to my customer itself where he can download the app, he can apply for a two-wheeler loan, where I don't want to even see the customer, I can able to disburse the vehicle to his door delivery of the bike also. I also started empowering my dealer community where you can see the entire visibility of it. Any walk-in customers, you can do end-to-end onboarding. So this kind of a various initiatives we did in the past 2 years. So these initiatives has made us kind of from a traditional NBFC model, we moved to kind of a traditional digital model. So that's what we did it in the past 2 years journey. Thank you for the opportunity.
That was great, Balaji. So maybe I would want to know from Ajit, you gave me a shocker by saying you have a 0 branch. right? So how is it working for you from how, then I think you are only technology which brings you, right? So
Would you mind repeat that? I was filling the mic. Of course, I'm just going to get that. Go ahead, repeat the question.
So when you have you're operating without a branch, right? So it is only technology which has giving you the business. So
Right.
what is this COVID times before and earlier now? How this things changed for you guys in business?
So Sundar, I think I'll touch upon a few things, right? So we're essentially branchless, right? And we use our, firepower of the balance sheet to power a lot of businesses throughout the country. And Orange is a very esteemed partner that we work with, right? So there's a meeting of minds, right? So COVID per se necessarily didn't do much apart from accelerating our digital journey and transformation. Nothing changed for us. It's just that it was a new ways that we would look at working. And because it was branchless per se and it was direct distribution, it essentially just accelerated how we could get there. Maybe what we could do in 2 years, maybe was done in 6 months, right? And potentially that has put us much ahead in terms of competition. Today we lend to all PIN codes in India, all states in India, but it's all done digitally, right? So it's a digital first attitude that you would need to have, and that has definitely helped us accelerate essentially when it came to COVID, right? It just strengthened our principles, strengthened our core, is how I would want to put it.
That was great.
Right? And the partnership with Orange has been very robust. It was always API first, digital first, and that's how the future is going to be, right? You're going to have less of brick and mortar. I'm not saying brick and mortar is going to go away, but it's always going to be a digital first because that's the cohort or the population is pivoting towards a point where everything is available immediately on demand, and there is a lot of data to corroborate through which you can underwrite, for example. We'll leave it for another day, but maybe if you have time today, I'll get to that. But that's where we are getting to, right? And it's going to be a lot of non-linear growth. So you will see a expansion in AUM, not necessarily coming at the cost of adding more people. So if you have to add more people to your AUM expansion, it's counterproductive, right? Where do you then get the ROI per se, right? That's where we are, right?
That's great. In fact, COVID have put everyone on our fast acceleration mode.
Yeah.
I think now we know how to do hybrid lunch along with work, right? Breakfast along with a video conference call. I think we all have become expert of
and
doing
maybe
that
in your pajamas, right? Wearing a jacket and wearing your pajamas bottom.
right? So the professional wear have become a boardroom has become our chairs, and I think our life have become a real hybrid. So I think, as you said, it would be good for you to meet up with your partner on the desk.
Sure.
So maybe as a quality guest, we have been working along with DP for a while. So we have been in this journey of digital transformation. So we have been helping them on the velocity and the faster go-to-market on the application readiness. Maybe, but DP, while I know maybe to the floor, how was this journey of last 2 years?
Thanks, Sundar. At Cholamandalam Finance, unlike Orange, we have a significant physical presence. More than 1,100 branches across the country. So we didn't have the advantage of being purely digital. So there was an initial challenge. And what the pandemic really did was drop quite a bit of barriers to adoption. Typically when you go with a digital investment proposal, first thing would be, okay, what does it cost? What is the benefit? Now the same, say the finance team or the investor relationship team, instead of getting up at 3 in the morning and flying to Mumbai for an investor meet, they could do it all over, a digital channel. And like you said, they could be wearing a jacket on the top and nobody knows what they wear below, right? So that adoption and the benefits they started seeing from the digital space really, kind of lowered the barriers and the questions that started coming to say, what should we be doing next on the digital space? So they saw the benefits coming through. And, like it was mentioning around, video KYC, things around RPA, a lot of that got significantly accelerated, during this period. And that's the big part we are seeing that, what would have taken, like you said, say a couple of years to typically go through the hurdles or frictions within. A lot of that gets smoothened out because, you realize that there is real benefit to derive.
It was great. So maybe Vijay, I know you have done a lot of acceleration and you are doing a fast acceleration starting now. So maybe you should share your experience to the forum on where are you moving from here. So.
Sure. First of all, I would like to thank this NBFC Tech Summit because out of my 27 years, 17 years into banking, and I've come reverse way from MNC Bank, Deutsche Bank, to Universal Yes Bank, to Bandhan Bank as a CIO, and now to NBFC Clicks. So it's a different experience. Like we used to go at a super fast pace. So in the NBFC, dynamic CEO Rakesh Kaul joined 10 months back, and I joined 9 months back. So we were, due to our book size was 5,000 crore, which shrink down to 3.5K crore, and we were making losses till December, but we turned it around. What we did is that we are working with your company, and also we have taken up 5 strategic projects in digital and AI and ML and 20 hygiene projects, because it was a legacy applications which came from erstwhile G and which we had to completely do a makeover. So I believed in 5 formulas which I learned in Deutsche. Means the processes are very strong in Deutsche. Even the UAT environment is having 99.9% uptime, which is not in Yes Bank and Bandhan Bank. They don't know what is the segregation between incident, problem, and change. Bola issue hai, fad gaya and all. This is a good learning which you get when you go over there. But what 5 things which I focused on is that C stands for customer first. Our PL D2C journey, we did end-to-end automation. Is the answer yes? If we have reached 100%, no, we are in a process of changing over the LOS. We have the in-house LOS, which is doing fantastic, but we need to upgrade to a different LOS. Customer first, end-to-end digital journey, and BL also we are converting into digital journey, which increased our profitability. And one thing which I just recently attended the BL workshop in Dehradun, one thing which I understood from the field is that why Clicks is making now 3.52, we have touched 4,000 crore. बोला कि सर हम लोग बहुत fast हो गए हैं. Means the decision making process, the credit sales, the system is very end-to-end digital. That helps. Second is API first, means straight through processing. Lot of automation. We have saved around 15 to 20 headcounts by doing the manual automation, manual work converted to automation by using the data analytics and the utility team working on. The third I is insight, analytics. Means we are providing have we reached a level where we reached in Yes Bank? But the answer is no. But 50% we are there. We have done the predictive analytics. We are providing real-time data using our Lumic data lake to our BL team, PL team, HFS team. So that journey has started 9 months back, and that's the profitability started from April onwards. Sorry, Jan onwards. Then the next A stands for automation. With tons and tons of automation we are doing to ensure that not only the D2C journey, but at the back end, our cost of fund compared to the banks, because I work for 3 big banks, the cost of fund is very low. We have to compete with them. For that, our cost of fund has to be low. So your back end, most of the hiring has to be done in the sales and credit team, the front end and the collections team. IT, you have to be lean and mean. So how you can do it, and operations has to be lean and mean by doing a lot of automations and ensuring that you manage more with less. And last C stands for customer first. We have only the Paytm because of the XYZ partnership. We have got co-lending partnership with them. Only that data center is separate. That also for compliance reasons we moved fast from Delhi to Gurgaon. But rest all on Amazon Cloud. And we are working with Amazon Cloud partners like Umbrella and all, how to reduce our cost from 8 CR to 4 CR. That's the cost pressure which all NBFCs will face. But this year, touch wood, out of 5 strategic projects which we took, we delivered 3. 2 big ones are there. Out of 20 hygiene projects, we have completed 5. So that's the thing which we want. And one thing which I learned in NBFC, it's no use to have inbuilt application development team. It is very difficult to retain in global resignation movement. The best thing is to partner with the fintechs or any companies and get the time to market reduced and go to and deliver the product very fast. That delivers value to all the business heads, the collections team, and the operations team. So that's the secret which I learned in NBFC. And also, and the advantage of NBFC is that you are sitting on one single floor, you can walk down and the decision happens faster. So that's the advantage of using and in AI front, when you come, I'll say we have done very interesting stuff over there. So that's it from my side. Thank you.
No, you said that's it, but I heard a massive initiative behind, right? See, everything is digital, right? So everything is digital. Touch points are coming low, right? As much possible. I think probably some of the 50 plus people or 60 plus people may not even think what is happening in the current Gen X lifestyle, right? So how are you focusing on this customer experience? What are the strategies around your customer experience? Because everything is digital. So the touch points of the typical one man who can be dialed and spoken, that are lost now. So how do you strategize your customer experience? How was your feedback, and how do you get the metrics out? What are the strategies around the metrics points? How do you drive that in the industry currently? If DP, I can ask you.
So, our focus on the customer is predominantly, we again started on the digital front. So we have a significant feet on street, almost close to 20,000 folks spanning our sales and collections. So they are the first, touch point from a customer perspective. And part of that is, given our presence beyond, the urban centers to the tier 2, 3, 4, where, when you go into a lending arrangement, trust becomes very important. So the first point of, touch that they have with Chola as a NBFC is through a person whom they can relate to. And our aim has been, once that is in place, how do I then switch them to something that gets a lot more digital and gives them satisfaction through multiple channels of engagement. So then that comes through, whether it's a customer-facing application that we can serve them through. And we also have, again, gone through significant co-lending arrangements. So our aim is to make sure that, like you said, the cost of funds that a bank has and NBFC has, that is a significant difference. We have to go to the market and borrow. We are not